Congratulations, Neil, on the contract extension. Obviously, it's a sign of faith from the board in your performance recently. Obviously, we've seen 4 wins out of the last 6. How do you feel about it?
Absolutely delighted, Tim. You know, it's an honour to manage this football team. And, you know, where we've been the last few years, you know, people talk about 5 years being in charge. Well, realistically, that's about 3.5 due to what happened with COVID. But I think we've had a lot of success on the field. You know, if you look at the Phoenix Trophy, the Manchester Cup, finishing, you know, second in the league, first round of the FA Cup. But we haven't really had that consistency, that strength behind the scenes. And that's no disrespect to anybody in the past. But now, you know, with the vision, with the business plan, with the new board, I feel like the club is really motoring in the right direction. And we've had a lot of trials and tribulations in the last few years. And we've talked about the budget and we've talked about the off-field problems. But now, you know, there's a sense of togetherness, there's a real ambition behind the club. And, you know, it's two-way. I'm delighted that the board have put the faith in me. But I've also had to weigh up the options, Tim, and think, you know, what's the best option for me? And, you know, I've been delighted with the work on the board. I've been delighted with what's happening off the field, the way Danny Davis has galvanised his team of office staff. And, you know, the team is now coming together on the field. But it's the work off the field that I'm really, really interested about. And, you know, when the board approached me and talked about the extension, for me, it's a no-brainer. I don't want to be anywhere else. And people will tell you, you know, there has been opportunities elsewhere, but my club's FC United. And first and foremost, yeah, I'm the manager, but I'm also a fan of this football team. And, you know, if things wasn't to work out the way we want it to work out, will I come back and support the club? Absolutely. Will still be a member? Absolutely. And that's paramount for me. But, you know, 5 years of being associated with the football club, I want another 5 years. And I just want to say thank you. And, you know, if you know, not the hard work starts, I don't think I've ever worked as hard. You know, I'll continue to do that. I'll give absolutely everything for the football club. And hopefully we can achieve our dream, our collective dream, which is, you know, what people know that what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a word that's used a lot in the sort of in striving for success, and that's the word consistency. Now, we've talked about consistency off the pitch. We've now got probably one of the largest boards we've had in a long time. They've obviously sort of got together and seen that this is the right thing to do. And obviously consistency in the first team management is another sort of like big tick towards success.
I mean, credit to all outgoing board members. And Adrian Zen and myself had a fantastic working relationship. And I can only credit him to what he does, you know, at the football club and still now, you know. But at that time, it was a small board with you know, Dave Ashurst, Sam Mullock, etc. But we've moved on. You know, we've moved on, and we've got that real drive, and got that determination. We've got the skill set now. We've got the know-how in the chairperson in Nick Boom, and he's going to galvanise that team, and he's going to make sure that the club is geared up towards going in the right direction. That's the work of the women. That's the work of the academy. That's the work of the junior setup. There's the work in the community. You know, my job is to obviously get results for the first team, but there's so much more to it at FC United. And I don't think, you know, we all hurt when we don't get the right result for the first team, but I can real sense that. I can feel that sense of direction now. And, you know, talking only yesterday at the women's game, you know, there's a real togetherness, and hopefully I can do what I have to do and put smiles on people's faces and play the right brand of football and get them results and get us where we all want to be. But I'll also help out, you know, with that jigsaw piece and helping out every other aspect of the football club. So, you know, I want to say, you know, thank you to all the fans and the continued support that they give me, you know, on a daily or weekly match day basis. Thank you to the board for showing the support in me. And hopefully, you know, myself and my team, you know, and when I say team, I don't just mean players, my team of staff who are pivotal towards that. I've got great people behind me. You know, we can work together and we can achieve our goal.
One other thing as well, which people won't appreciate, and I sort of see this every Thursday when I come in, you know, self and Brian are literally working through the team and trying to work out how much, you know, people don't quite appreciate, but basically every player has a salary. You have to fit that salary. It's a bit like sort of like salary Tetris, I think of it, because you basically got to drop those pieces in and make sure they fit to a very small budget. We went to, and I won't name the team, but we went to a team of probably less than 2 months ago, and their weekly budget was 6 times ours. And I'm joking, basically, I heard the director himself say how much they got, and I know how much ours is. You know, so basically, you're working with basically a very small budget to try and take on teams. And it wasn't Macclesfield, but the likes of Macclesfield who have got sort of like budgets, you know, far in excess of ours.
Tim, I think it's right at this point to say that in summer, you know, we want to push season ticket sales. We want to get people positive around the season. When FC United increased the budget slightly, I made a big thing about it because a slight improvement, which costs of living and, you know, everything that goes with it, is huge for FC United, especially in the current climate we're at. So to improve our budget slightly, I made a big thing out of it and said that we've made a big push on it Was it enough? Did we know the spending power of other teams? No. But I'm certainly not going to downplay that, because any increase at FC, with everything else that we've got to cope with, it is huge. Are we near the top 10 in terms of budgets? No. Do I need to keep saying that? No. Probably people want to kind of ask what we need to do to get close to that. Double, treble our budget. Does that mean that we're going to not strive for success? Absolutely not. But if people want to be in the real world and know exactly what goes on, come forward, speak to the board. There's a great piece of work that's going on behind the scenes where Simon Preston and Nick Boom are talking to two of the clubs at the minute and putting together a flow chart of kind of where we're at. We're in the bottom third. We know we're in the bottom third, but we can't keep talking about it. But when I've got to go to places like, Bradford Park Avenue on Saturday, and before I even pick a team, using the Tetris theory, I've already got £1,300 sat at home in contract players, A. Curtis Jones, Jay Fitzmartin, Dante Gabardon, Jan Palinkas, Donahue I can't use. So on a small budget, you've already lost your £1,400. So you're trying to pick a team of 16 with, 2 arms tied behind your back. So it's hard, but we're still delivering a successful team. We won't stop doing what we're doing, and that's continue to strive for high success. Will it always go according to plan? No. Even if we double or treble our budget, will it go according to plan week in, week out? Probably not. And you've seen that with Macclesfield and Radcliffe. Teams always raise the game. Teams raise the game against us because of who we are. But there is a tremendous amount of work going on behind the scenes. We're trying to close that gap. Will we be able to do it in year 1, year 2? No. It might take us a few years to do that. I know that we've got to win football games to get more people through the stadium, which in turn will increase more revenue. We're working hard to do that, Tim. And I think the board have seen that. And that's why they've, extended the contract. That's why I've willingly accepted the contract, and I'm delighted with it. And it's not the hard work starts. I would have reiterated that. It's the hard work continues, and it will continue. And there's no one who work harder for this football team than myself. So hopefully, Tim, we can go in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, just to finish as well, I mean, we've seen very recently, a club that overextended itself. I think the entire first team or the entire sort of starting 11 was pretty much under contract. They've had to drop out. I don't know what league they're going to end in, but their records are being expunged. Obviously, we lost those good 3 points that we lost up there, but we don't want to be another mask, do we?
No, and I genuinely, my heart goes out for clubs like that. But while I'm in charge, Tim, I certainly won't over-exceed the budget. I'll certainly keep always one eye. I'll be very meticulous around that. And when the time comes and we can spend within our means, then we'll spend within our means. And I might change the style of player or the clientele of player that I go for. But at the minute, as a supporter, as a member, I certainly won't abuse that position, Tim. And, it won't always please people. People want to see winning brands of football and want to see a winning team and won't always like the excuse of not having your best players available. But I'm not in a position where I've got 20 contract players and, if I lose a Michael Donahue, I haven't got another Michael Donahue sat in the stands yet. I might have in years to come, but I'm ready for that journey. And I'm ready for the criticism, because that's what managers are there for. You get criticised when things don't go, in your way. But I like to think I'm an approachable person. And while I'm here for the next how many years, if there's a gripe, if there's annoyance, come and speak to me. And that's what I'd urge people to do. I'm never going to get rid of social media. I'm never going to get rid of, people on forums. But what I will say is that I'm an approachable guy. I've got FC United in my heart. I only want one thing for this football club, and that's success on and off the field. So I'll say it again. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everybody that supports the extension. And hopefully, I'm going to put them smiles on people's faces and work even harder, if that's possible, to make more success at FC United.